Oh my god, it just went on my nose a little bit. That might send me into existential crisis. $6.69 for a container of nuts. It's looking red. Okay, today we are going to do something super fun. We are going to recreate all of the Starbucks drinks. The old ones that have been discontinued and the new ones. Thought it would be so fun to try and recreate them at home because a lot of my favorite ones aren't even around anymore. And why don't we make it at home? And why don't we make it better? So that's what we're gonna do today. We are going to make the sugar cookie latte, chestnut praline latte, gingerbread latte, brown sugar shaken, espresso latte, and the iced peppermint mocha. So let's get started. I also want to say really quickly too that I'm not coming up with these recipes myself. I'm going to link all of them down below. I'm getting a couple from TikTok and I'm also getting a couple from different websites. So they're not the original, like my original recipes, they're other people's recipes. Even though mocha's not my favorite, I kind of really want to make the peppermint mocha. So maybe we're going to start with the peppermint mocha. Alright, so actually we're going to be cooking today on this bad boy, which is like a portable stove kind of thing, because as we all know from other videos, ooh, way too bright. As we all know from other videos, and it was so dark and I was just like, we cannot film over there. It'll be a tragedy. So we're gonna use this little thing. It is just like a thing my brother got at the thrift store one time. It works pretty well, so we're gonna hope that it like pulls through today and does the job. Look at this. It is a cookie jar full of candy canes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, hold me a little buddy. Alright, so we gotta turn this bad boy on a high medium. And we're gonna put half a cup of water, 1/4 cup of sugar, and then we're gonna unwrap our little, oh, this one's broken. Your life will not be for nothing. You guys prefer the candy canes with the thick stripes or the thin ones? Food for thought. I so wish that we could just be like blasting some Christmas music right now, especially when we're making festive Christmas drinks. Alright, so we're just giving it a little mixy mix. It's looking red. This is what we're working with right now as we wait for the little Mr. Candy Canes to melt. Those candy canes fought till the bitter end. They would not melt. Our 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, and that's actually the last ingredient. That's all we need for this recipe. I also whisked this guy because it was looking a little clumpy with the cocoa powder. It was looking a little claggy, so we're gonna, oh wait, this is the moment of truth. Can you guys even see? It smells very good. Alright, now my idea for this also was to make all the syrups and then at the end make all the drinks and then try them side by side, give them a little taste test. So there's the peppermint mocha. It's actually not that much. I actually just gave this a little lick and that tastes really good. So if the drink tastes as good as that does, we're on the right path. That tastes really good. Prize, so we have a fresh workstation. So let's go for the gingerbread latte, which is discontinued. Let's hit it. So it is 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1 cup of water. Chow. 1 cup of water, 1/2 cup of regular sugar. So we'll mix that all together over medium heat again. Now, the spices are what really come here and make the difference. They zhuzh this thing up. We got molasses, cinnamon, ginger, vanilla, salt, and that is gonna just, you see we even have a festive spoon right on theme. Alright, so I measured out a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of ground ginger, a teaspoon of vanilla, and 1/4 a teaspoon of salt. So we're just gonna, I've added the vanilla and I'm like, that's kind of gonna just make it into mud. Right in there. And then we need 2 tablespoons of molasses. 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons. And now we just reduce it down. This is what we're looking at. Reducing away all those little bubblies. It's taking a little while, but I guess we got nothing but time. My mom brought me a hash brown, so we're gonna take a short intermission. Alright, are you ready? Look at that. Look at that reduction. Alright, so I think it's cool enough by now. We'll pour it in. Look how velvety that is. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. It's so funny how tempting things like sugary syrups, like I want to bathe in it, but like that would be the worst experience ever because it would just be so sticky, but like it looks so velvety that you want to bathe in it. Does that make sense? All right, we are on to the next. We are going on to the sugar cookie latte. So it is 2 tablespoons of butter and 1 cup of white sugar. Why did it just do that? Now it says to brown the butter, and I believe it's just like letting it cook, right? We've got a nice sizzle going. All right, we're gonna say that the butter is brown. It's like a little toasty. So now we're gonna add our cup of sugar. All right, now we're gonna add a cup of water. And then we need to add half a teaspoon of almond and a teaspoon of vanilla. I don't think I have almond extract, so we might just have to go with vanilla and pray for the best. Don't I look so terrifying when I do this? I don't know, I looked really terrifying when I did that. Okay, so we need a teaspoon of vanilla, and of course, I've got my half a teaspoon of almond extract. Perfect, that's what the recipe called for. Guys, it really smells like sugar cookies. It honestly does. What a crazy concept that you can have the same flavors as you would in a cookie in a drink. Isn't flavor weird? Like, how crazy is that? All right, we're gonna pour this bad boy in this container. I almost might have reduced this one a little too much. Look how thick that is. That is one thick syrup. I hope that's okay. This one's really thick. I reduced it too much. It's more like, do I add more water to it or something though? I don't know what to do. All right, last but definitely not least, we have the chestnut praline. I do not have any chestnuts. I don't even think I've ever seen a chestnut in a store. The only time I've ever heard of a chestnut is like, no chestnuts roasting by an open fire. I've never seen a chestnut in real life before, I don't think. So we don't have any chestnuts. This recipe calls for 1 cup of pecan and 1 cup of chestnuts. So we have pecans, and then I also have some hazelnuts. So I feel like a couple of those. I feel like we could get a good vibe there. If you got chestnuts, use them, go for it. But you don't have to tell anyone that I don't have chestnuts. So we're gonna keep it on the down. Throw a couple of those in there. Should we like break them up? Ow. Gotcha. Boom. So we're just gonna crush a couple of these, and we're gonna crush a couple of the pecans too. What even is praline if it's not one of the nuts? Mom, what's a praline? Is that a nut?
No, praline's not a nut, but syrupy with the nuts in it.
Oh, so it's a term to describe it, not an ingredient. Learn something new every day. All right, we're not gonna put a full cup of each because nuts be expensive. $69 for a container of nuts. And we're going to just saute the nuts, roast them if you will, and get them toasty. Chestnuts roasting on an open skillet. Toasted nuts, toasted nuts, toasted nuts today. If your day is not going so well, try to toast some nuts. It really brightens your day. All right, the nuts smell so good, so nice and toasty. So we're gonna add a cup of water and a cup of brown sugar, and we're gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla as well, and then reduce. And we're not gonna reduce it as much as we reduced the other one. All right, now comes the terrifying part, which is to make all of the drinks and make them good. So we're going to, a little thing about me is that I don't drink regular coffee. If I drink too much coffee, not even a lot to be honest, like half a regular cup, that would just throw me over the edge. So we're going with a classic cafe lib. We're gonna start with the brown sugar shaken latte. So we've got brown sugar and a little bit of nutmeg, and then we pour the espresso on top. Give it a little mixy mix. Then we get ice. And then we shake. All right, and we're gonna pour it into one of our Christmas glasses. And then we finish it off with oat nog. Now, I will say this till the end of time. This is the best nog. I have had the coconut one. Like that was the only one I think on the market for a really long time. And it's good, don't get me wrong, it's very good. If that's the only option you have, it's delicious. But this stuff is addictive. This stuff is so good. It's like the perfect amount of sweetness, creaminess. Look at that. Are we ready? Cheers. That's very, very good. It tastes very similar to just like an eggnog latte that I would just make at home. Like the brown sugar thing isn't coming through like too strong, but I mean it's good. It's definitely good. It's probably one of the most basic of all of them because obviously we didn't make like a syrup or anything. I wouldn't turn it away. I wouldn't say no. It's very delicious. So next we are going to go for, which one should we go for? Let's go for the chestnut praline like. All right. Next we're taking a little bit of the praline syrup. I don't know, 2 spoonfuls. And then we're gonna pour our espresso on top. It's okay. Then we add some oat milk. Stir. And we're gonna top this one with a little bit of coconut whipped cream. Beautiful. Cheers. The nuts are definitely coming through. That's really good. That's really, really good. Fun fact, I did order a chestnut praline from Starbucks one time like a couple years ago, forgetting that like a latte has coffee in it, because a lot of the time when I make a latte at home, it has my fake coffee, and then my mind just sometimes forgets like, oh, they have real coffee there. So I ordered a chestnut praline one, and I got like almost like a venti or something. It was huge. I was like too stubborn. I was like, I have to drink this now. I bought this for like $15. So I tried to, and it didn't end well. That's really good. That's really, really good. Chestnut praline, I love you. Thank you for that. Oh, now I went back because the sugar cookie one started to like firm too much, and it turned into like hard candy. And it took me about an hour scraping, and then my mom an hour scraping to get it all out. So I reduced it again, and it's actually quite thin now, but I'm like too scared to make it thicker again. So we're just gonna go with a very thin syrup. And then we're gonna pour the coffee in. And then we're gonna go in with a little bit of oat milk again. Soy is coming in hot to save us. That really honestly does taste like a sugar cookie, and it's weirding me out. In drink form, it doesn't feel right, but it's really good. That is sensational. That's almost too good. Next, we're going to make the gingerbread latte. Ooh, it's really goopy. Now it's giving me out a little bit. Put you back where you came from. Then we're gonna go in with a little bit of coffee. All of these are supposed to be made with like espressos, like a double shot or like a single shot. We're not gonna top this one with whipped cream. We're just gonna see what the vibe is. It really tastes like gingerbread too. That's so weird. Imagine eating a gingerbread cookie while drinking a gingerbread latte. That might send me into existential crisis. Oh yeah, the fun thing about all of these ones for me is that I know a lot of people have love these at Starbucks, of course, but almost feel like they sometimes have too much of like an artificial taste, because obviously like they're mass produced and all that kind of stuff. But when you make them at home, they just have very basic ingredients in them, so they're really delicious. They're not like, you know, you can adjust the sweetness level to like what you like. It's so much cheaper in the long run to make them yourself, and it's kind of fun too. You can make them for people as gifts. That's fun. That would be a really fun idea. I really should be using steamed milk for this, but what a pretty color. I have to say it's not my favorite, but mochas aren't always my favorite. So it's not the syrup. I think the syrup is really good, but it's just like compared to all these other gorgeous beauties, this one is lower on the list, I think. But it's still really good. Oh my god, now which one would be my favorite? I'd probably have to say either the sugar cookie or the chestnut praline are definitely the faves. Oh my god, it just went up my nose a little bit. Alright guys, well this has been so fun. Thank you so much for coming along on this crazy, wacky journey with me. I'm really excited to have all of these now just to use up, and I'm sure the fam is gonna love it too. And I hope you try this at home. Save yourself a couple bucks, have some fun. Yeah, it was really, really fun. So thank you so much for coming, and we'll see you in the next one.